Well, welcome to our Bob's Discount One-on-One. Really excited to welcome in Eagles defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. Javon, thanks for joining me today, man.
No problem. Happy to be here.
So let's talk about you as an athlete. And I want to get back to young Javon Hargrave as a kid. What was your first love in terms of like playing sports? What did you like playing most growing up?
Well, I was big on basketball. Basketball is kind of the first thing you can play growing up because football you got to start in the third grade, and basketball you start kindergarten, first grade, and things like that. So basketball was kind of my first love, and I had dreams, aspirations of being in the NBA before the NFL.
You had a big high school career, right? I had read that you had turned your high school team. I think you had like 7 wins your sophomore year, and you go to the state title your senior year. What was that like? Yeah,
that was a transition. My bad, but we had a new coach, new players come in, a couple young guys contributing, and I don't know, we struggled my sophomore year. Then a lot of us just grew up and got it rolling my senior year, and ended up making a run to win the state championship.
A lot of, you talk with, whether they're college coaches recruiting high school players, you talk with college or NFL scouts when they're looking at college offensive linemen, defensive linemen. You're looking with the big guys with the basketball background. Are there some of those things that you've carried with you from the hardwood to the gridiron?
I think my quickness, me and some of my moves I believe came from basketball. Like defensive slides and just moving with some of the quicker guys kind of got my feet right. Some of my uncle, he used to tell me all the time, don't quit basketball because basketball is going to benefit for me for football. So that was kind of my thing.
I've seen you work that Euro step in a little bit. I remember you had a sack against Jacksonville a couple years ago where you stabbed outside and you were able to cross face and get on the edge of the guard. You bring a little bit of that to the game for sure.
Yeah, that's like my crossover.
Did you have handles, or were you more like back to the basket?
Nah, I ain't have no handles. I did. I was mostly back to the basket. I could dribble a little bit, but I wasn't out there trying to cross nobody over.
So going to football, when did you know you were going to be a defensive lineman? Was it like immediate, like as soon as you started playing?
Man, it's crazy because defensive line always came easy to me. But, of course, growing up, I wanted to play running back or I wanted to play linebacker. But I remember just 4th grade, I was getting off the ball and just running past everybody, making tackles. But I go back and try to be running back in middle school, and it wasn't really working out. Then I think in high school, I went back to defensive line, and it just took off from there.
Did they only play you on one side, or were you able to play 2 ways in high school?
I was playing 2 ways in high school. I ran the ball. I wouldn't let them put me on the offensive line. I couldn't stand the offensive line. But I played a little tight end and running back and just defensive line.
So you go to South Carolina State, and you have a great career. There was a game, I believe you had, was it 6 sacks against Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah, it was.
So I read an interview you did where you said that that was a game that changed your life and really kind of put you on the radar. Can you just talk about that and why that was such a big moment for you?
I think that year I was having a great year, and I was just coming off like a MCL sprain or something like that, and I didn't even start that game. I was coming off the bench and, just not even knowing if I was going to play a lot that game. And I don't know, I just ended up getting like 2 or 3 in the first half, and it took off from there. And after that, I had all the scouts coming to my school, and it just kind of started blowing me up.
You went to the Shrine Bowl. You had a big week down there. You went. I believe you were a late addition to the Senior Bowl as well, right?
Yeah, I was.
What was that whole experience like leading up? Because obviously you go to the Shrine, you're maybe like kind of feeling like you're under the radar. Then you go to the Senior Bowl. Did you kind of feel like the momentum was starting to build for you?
Yeah, it was a great experience. Just trying to coming from a small school to starting to play against all these big boys. But like the Shrine Bowl, it was great. I killed that. Then I think I came to the Senior Bowl, and it's like I seen how the speed just kind of changed from playing in a smaller level and going to the big boys. But it made me adjust and catch up and rise to the occasion, rise to the level.
So I believe you were named this spring by the NFLPA as the top player from an HBCU in the NFL. What does that mean to you when you're one of the top players in the league, coming from the HBCU, and all those schools? What does that mean for you?
That's a great feeling. Like I just remember coming out. I was at that same banquet with like Doug Williams and them, and they was just telling me I had to kind of carry the tradition, and if I did bad, it was gonna make everybody else look bad. So I always kind of try to carry that chip on my shoulder, and I just love this. I just love my HBCUs and probably know everybody who came from HBCUs. So we got some dogs, and it was a real exciting moment when I won that award.
I mean, some of the best players in NFL history, and certainly some of the best players in the league right now. Did you cross over with Darius Leonard with the Colts? Were you guys in there together?
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, we used to compete like crazy. We played 2 years together.
Okay.
Well, 2 or 3. Well, he was there 3 years with me, but we played 2 years together. But yeah, that's my boy. We used to get down together.
I believe it. Hey, let me ask this question. So Deion Sanders, obviously a huge name, gets named head coach at Jackson State. Does that help in your mind, like, put HBCUs even on the map in terms of like high school recruiting and trying to get some of those best players to get back into the HBCU level?
Yeah, that's crazy because we were just talking about that in the locker room, just how much that might change the culture. And of course, who's a DB, a big time DB who wouldn't want to go and play for Deion Sanders? So I think you're gonna start to see a lot of big names start to transition. Because, like you say, it don't really matter where you go. You can still make it to the NFL just off of all the talent we got in the league right now. So I think that's a big move for HBCUs.
No question. I'm excited to see what that means for them moving forward into the future. Last question for you: what's one element of playing defensive line that us on the outside, fans, media, we don't necessarily think about, but you know that it's really, really important and is key to your success?
It's get off, man. Especially playing in this system right now, is getting off the ball. That's been my big thing from, just coming from YFL, just being able to beat everybody off the ball. So, yeah, if you don't know, just look at the fastest person getting off the ball, and that's a big thing.
Well, no question. Well, Javon, thank you so much, man, for joining me. Stay safe, stay healthy. Best of luck here this Sunday.
I appreciate you. Thank you.